Hi, this is Dennis Pegden, CEO of Simio. Thank you for joining this tutorial on working with sequence tables. Sequence tables basically let you set up routings for entities so you can control their movement through the system. To illustrate sequence tables, we're going to take this simple example with 3 servers. So we have parts arrive, and we're going to set up 2 different flows. We're going to set up one flow where they go first to server 1, then continue to server 2, then to server 3, and then depart. And then we're going to reverse the flow and have them first go to server 3, then to server 2, then to server 1, and depart. And in both cases, what we want to do is we want to set up the sequence in the form of a table and also have the processing time on the servers be part of the information that's in that table. So let's build this example. We'll go to Simio. Here is Simio, and we'll start off. We'll bring out the source. We'll bring out the 3 servers. And we'll bring out the sink. Now I'm going to double click on path to enter path add mode. Add the forward paths first. So source to server 1 to server 2, server 2, server 3, server 3, to the sink. Now I'm going to add the reverse paths. In the reverse paths, we go from the source to server 3. Then on the output side of server 3, we go back to server 2. The output side of server 2, we go to server 1. And on the output side of server 1, we go to the sink. Now if we just run at this point, we're going to get fairly chaotic movement. We're going to have entities moving in all kinds of directions because they're going to be randomly picking between all their possible paths. So let me stop this, and what we're going to do now is go to the data window and create a sequence table to control the routing. So I'm going to add a sequence table. I'll rename this table routing. And I'm going to add a property to this table, which is an expression, which I'll rename processing time. And let me widen both columns a bit. And now, for the destinations, when we're setting up a forward path, we'll first go to input at server 1. Then we'll go to input at server 2. And we'll go to input at server 3. And then finally we'll go to input at sink. And for processing times, let's just make it simple. Let's make it 1, 2, and 3. Now that we've set up this table, let's go back to our facility. And the first thing we're going to do is drag out our entity now. And we're going to tell the entity to follow that sequence. So I'll select routing as the table to follow. Okay. Next, I'm going to tell it whenever it leaves any of these nodes to continue, sort of continue as the option for the destination. Make your destination by sequence. So on each of these output nodes, it's going to pick its next value by going to that sequence table and picking its destination as the next destination in that table. So now we've got all of the route. We've got the entities following the routing. We've got all of the nodes telling it to use the sequence. The last thing we need to do is to replace the processing times by the values in the table. And to do that, we'll type in routing. As soon as we get it showing up, we hit enter, hit the dot, hit enter, and we've got routing processing time as the value for the processing time at server 1. Doing the same for server 2 and 3. And then finally server 3. So at this point, all of the processing times are going to be the value based on the current row in that sequence table. Now let's run it again. And see, now that we have forward flow, instead of that chaotic flow we had before, we have forward flow going server 1, server 2, server 3, and the processing times that are being used are coming from that table. Now let me go ahead and stop it, go back to our data. I'm going to switch these around. We'll say server 3 is first, server 1 is right before the sync, and let's go back and rerun the model. Now you see we're going to server 3, then to server 2, finally to server 1, and to the sync. So this quickly illustrates how sequence tables can be used to set up part routings and also to hold data for the entities at those servers. We could also be specifying things besides processing times, resources or other things that are required at those servers. Thank you for joining the tutorial. We hope you continue, and give us a call if you have any questions or you're looking for an online demonstration. Thank you.